That feels good. What's up, good people and Eagle fans? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. It's amazing. It was like 82, 83 degrees this morning, and it is chilly out here at night. I feel like I'm in the desert or something, because in the desert it's hot as hell during the day, and then at nighttime it gets so cold. And that's how it kind of feels. It's nippy. It feels like fall and football season, football weather. And we had the Cowboys doing things a little bit different. Now, people keep saying, oh, I literally saw a little clip of Ian Rappaport. He's got sunglasses on. I don't know where he was going or what he was doing, but he definitely didn't look like he was like in the office and stuff. But trying to put out content and stuff, because that, like what I've been doing, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, whether it's in a sewer pipe or on a roof or side of a building or in my workshop covered with sawdust, if news breaks, I'm bringing it to you. So Ian Rappaport was in his car with his sunglasses on and dressed down, and he says the Dallas Cowboys spent more money not on Micah Parsons, because they keep throwing this at us, but spent it on Tyler Smith. Now, the thing I want you to understand is we are on the out. I'm going to see if I can explain this the right way. We are on the outside. We don't know what went on behind closed doors. You can see a person or a relationship on the outside and say, oh, they're a happy couple, right? Or, somebody's kid does something crazy, and you say, I never knew that. They seem like such a nice person. I never saw that happening or coming around, because we don't know what actually went on with the Cowboys organization and Micah Parsons, okay? When you're a couple and you're married, you always put on that smile and everything else and say, hey, we're a happy couple. But you may fight like cats and dogs behind closed doors. We got little snippets of the Cowboys. We heard on 105 through the fan that Cowboys organization was kind of tired of some of Micah Parsons' stick. We've all kind of said stuff about the podcast and things as well, right? That he's doing the podcast and hanging with Big Play Slay, and we're getting mollywopped and he's not out on the field and stuff. We've heard his teammates say the same thing. It's kind of, we're not stopping the run and you're doing the podcast. We heard that from Lee Cooker. We know that there was a dynamic between him and D-Law. So we don't know what really went on and how they looked at it. But I can say this much is, like Leo said today, he's like, the Cowboys were stupid because they could have had him for $40 million. Well, no, actually they couldn't. Because, we hear, well, the Cowboys offered $40.5 million. Yeah, they did, but they offered it for 5 years. Because here's where they didn't plan on signing him. They offered him 5 years. Osa and Digazua came together real quick. 4-year deal. Deron Bland came together real quick. 4-year deal. Tyler Smith came together. Deron Bland and Tyler Smith's agents were at training camp. They were at training camp talking to the Joneses. At the same time, Jerry Jones was saying, we had a deal back in March. So they didn't try and get a 5-year deal with Tyler Smith. They didn't try and get a 5-year deal with Osa and Digazua. They didn't try and get a 5-year deal with Deron Bland. And they talked to their agents. Okay. Point number 2. What you don't understand is, the longer the deal is, the more advantageous it is for the organization. If they can lock you in and make you play for that. Let's think about this for a second. 3 years ago, TJ Watt was unbelievable money, $28 million. 3 years later, it's at 47. It grew $19 million a year in 3 years. If that's the case, we're looking at in about 3 years it being $70 million. If Micah Parsons had taken that $40 million a year in 5 years, it'd probably be about $90 million. Now, is that more than enough money that he'll ever need? Probably, if he's just Micah's wide for this money. I don't think he's blowing it. Not like Tyreek Hill. But it wasn't a good deal. And I'm going to say it wasn't a legitimate offer. See, I kind of explained this during my live stream. It's like this. There are times when you, or as a contractor, I would go look at a job. And maybe you're busy doing other jobs that, that are good jobs and things like that are easier jobs to do. And you meet somebody that you think that it's going to be difficult. There's some people when you meet, they're going to be a pain in the ass. We always get hard way to go. He's a bad contractor. Well, yeah, there are bad contractors, but there's also bad customers. There's ones out there that no matter what you do, they're going to try and get you to do it for even less than, after you've already cut a break and you're doing them a favor. They literally want you to work there and basically work for free, okay? In fact, some of them even want to sue you to make even more money off of your ass. And when you get some of these jobs that you go look at, you want to be kind and say, well, I'll get you a number. And you look at this and say, this is some really difficult shit. And so you give them the FU price. 3 times as much as what it should be. Because you're hoping that they'll just say, nah, that ain't going to work. It's not going to work. But if they do take it, okay, 3 times the value of it, it's worth it to put up, it'll be worth it to go deal with her or him. You follow what I'm saying? And so when Jerry Jones talked to Micah and said, we're going to make you the highest paid. And he said it. We offered him the highest paid. Because that's plausible deniability. We offered him the highest guaranteed money ever. Yeah. And it sounds great right now. But you'll have a situation like Zach Martin that a couple years into his deal, he looks and says, the market has exploded. And I am woefully underpaid. And I think the Joneses, in the back of their mind, had skepticism of whether or not to do that deal. And they left it out there and said, well, Micah, we had a deal, man, and we're going to stick with that deal. And that's why Jerry Jones played the way he did. He didn't have an intention of really signing him unless he literally took a bad deal. And that's why he said, no, I don't want to talk to the agent. I'm dealing with Micah here. You know what? I'm betting that the agents were the ones talking to Jerry. I'm betting that. So tomorrow, we take on the New York Giants. And we must take care of business. We must knock Cop Pizzle out of here. And the rest of the jingles. The Giants fans with them. This is the opportunity to go ahead and get right. Now here's what I'm going to say. Back to the Micah situation. We look at it from the outside and say, oh my God, the Cowboys treated Micah Parsons like that. If you're the regular guy, you look at that and say, if they treat Micah Parsons like that, they're not going to, they don't treat me that way. But it seems like the Cowboys have made it their mission to say, you know what, because of Micah Parsons and the money he was going to make, we couldn't take care of these guys. And now they took care of Bland. They took care of Tyler Smith. They're trying to get Clowney out there. The organization is working on changing that narrative that we don't care, and basically trying to say he was the fault guy, the bad guy, the boogie boo, the boogeyman, boogie boo. Where is this coming from? I must be really tired. You follow what I'm saying? They're making Micah Parsons the guy who, well, if we had signed him, we wouldn't have been able to do Tyler Smith or Deron Bland or try and get Clowney in here. And that's how they're trying to make up for the animosity and the counter of Micah Parsons being in Green Bay. Well, hey, we got Tyler Smith signed, and Tyler Smith has been to 2 Pro Bowls. The only only one of 8 offensive linemen to ever go to 2 Pro Bowls before they were over 23 years of age, and we've got him locked up until he's 30 years old with the extension. So we feel really good about what we did there with a good value pickup here. I know $24 million sounds like a lot of money now, but that money doesn't actually start kicking in for 2 years, because we finally learned that you can sign a guy when he's still real cheap. Well, we realize this now because Mark Holmes has been talking about this over and over again. Tyler Smith's deal was $4.2 million this year. And so we go ahead and we cut him a big fat check and say, here's your guaranteed money. But on the salary cap, it's actually not costing us this year, and it'll be a low number next year. We really don't start paying on this thing until 2027. And so it's kind of cool because you lock them in, in today's dollars, but when the NFL ends up getting that 18-game season, that new television contract, and all that gambling money, because shout out to Bet ESPN, make sure you put your wager down. We're going to be getting more money down the road, and we'll be able to get even more players. So, yeah, hats off to Micah Parsons for not being here. Yeah. So, now that we've gotten this out of the way, and that they've definitely shown some love for Clowney, will they try and do anything else this year to try and win? I don't know. But I'm going to say, hold on to your hats, because I think Jerry Jones, the gambler, is back, bitches. And, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. My back is killing me. I'm tired. And it's about 10 o'clock. I was going to watch the fight. I might watch it in bed. And then it'll probably be watching me, because I'll probably pass the F out. But I got to get up early. I got to take this wood over to my mother's house. I got to get the meat for the chopped cheese sandwiches. And things. David Wiley will be here at 10 o'clock, and we'll be live streaming about 12:30. Yeah, about 12:30 we'll start live streaming. And it's a big day. Cowboys, Giants early, and then we got Eagles and Kansas City at 4 o'clock. So, it'll be really cool. It'd be great if at the end of the day we were tied with Washington and the Eagles at 1 game apiece for the NFC East lead. And with that being said, remember, good people, to tell the people you love how much you love them. We get reminders every day how short and how precious life is. Take care of you. I love you guys. Peace out.